Canton Tower, known as the Guangzhou Tower, is an iconic landmark located in the Haizu district of Guangzhou, China. With a height of 600 meters, the tower is a remarkable feat of engineering and design, making it one of the tallest structures in China and the world. Its unique and slender shape, often described as a twisted lady, was designed by the Dutch architectural firm Information-Based Architecture and Arup Group. The tower serves multiple purposes including television and radio transmission, observation decks, and entertainment facilities including rotating restaurants and a horizontal ferrarium over 400 meters above the ground. At night, it is illuminated with LED lights, showcasing a beautiful light display that can be seen from various points in the city. Its observation decks provide panoramic views of Guangzhou, including the Pearl River and the city skyline. The tower has been open to the public since 2010, and it also features several thrill rides and a large outdoor garden at the base. Its design symbolizes the burgeoning economic growth and futuristic outlook of Guangzhou, making it an emblem of modern China. The Canton Tower is a 602-meter, 1,975 feet, tall multipurpose observation tower in the Haizu district of Guangzhou. The tower was topped out in 2009 and it became operational on September 29, 2010 in time for the 2010 Asian Games. The tower briefly held the title of tallest tower in the world, replacing the CN Tower, before being surpassed by the Tokyo Skytree. It was the tallest structure in China prior to the topping out of the Shanghai Tower on August 3, 2013, and is now the second tallest tower and the fifth tallest freestanding structure in the world. There had been a long discussion about the naming of the Canton Tower since the commencement of its construction in 2005 after the groundbreaking ceremony. In September 2020, at the request of the tower's investor, Guangzhou Daily launched a contest for naming proposals. The contest attracted over 180,000 valid entries, among which Canton Tower was awarded the first prize. The name alluded to the city's historical setting as the start of the Maritime Silk Road and the tower's geographical proximity to Xiaomanyao Island. However, this name was considered obscure to people unfamiliar with the history of the city. Local residents continued to refer to the tower by various nicknames including Slim Waist, Twisted Firewood, a metaphor for stubborn in Cantonese, and Yangdian Feng, Peak of the Ram City, homophone of epilepsy in colloquial Chinese. The naming was reconsidered in 2010. After surveying a broad range of public opinions, Canton Tower was decided as the official English name and announced at the end of September 2010. The new English name, which alludes to the city's prosperous past, was considered the most identifying and least ambiguous among the multitude of proposals. History. Canton Tower was constructed by Guangzhou New Television Tower Group. It was designed by the Dutch architects Mark Hemmel and Barbara Kuit of Information-Based Architecture, together with Arup, the international design, engineering, and business consulting firm headquartered in London, United Kingdom. In 2004, Information-Based Architecture and Arup won the international competition, in which many internationally large architectural offices participated. In the same year, the Arup team in Amsterdam developed the tower's concept design. In later stages, cooperated mainly with the local Chinese office of Arup and a local design institute. Subsequently, in 2005, the groundbreaking of the Canton Tower took place. The tower, although not fully completed, opened to the public on October 1, 2010 in time for the 16th Asian Games, hosted by Guangzhou in November 2010. The rooftop observatory finally received its official opening in December 2011. Structure and construction. The Canton Tower's twisted shape or hyperboloid structure corresponds to the Russian Empire patent number 1896, dated March 12, 1899, received by Vladimir Zhukov, the Russian engineer and architect. The structure is similar to the Adzhiagol lighthouse, designed by Vladimir Zhukov in 1910, in Ukraine's Dnepr Delta. Structural concept. The tower was designed by Information-Based Architecture and URUP. The URUP team led by structural engineer Professor Dr. Jukpal introduced near-mass customization to the joint design, in combination with parametric design methods, and applied a simple structural concept of three elements, columns, rings and braces, to this more complex geometry. The waist of the tower contains a 180 meters 590 feet open-air skywalk where visitors can physically climb the tower. There are outdoor gardens set within the structure, and at the top, just above 452 meters 1,483 feet, a large open-air observation deck. The interior of the tower is subdivided into programmatic zones with various functions, including TV and radio transmission facilities, observatory decks, revolving restaurants, computer gaming, restaurants, exhibition spaces, conference rooms, shops, and 4D cinemas. A deck at the base of the tower hides the tower's functional workings. All infrastructural connections, metro and bus stations, are situated underground. This level also includes exhibition spaces, a food court, a commercial space, a parking area for cars and coaches. There are two types of elevators, slow-speed panoramic and high-speed double-decker. The zone from 80 to 170 m, 260 to 560 feet, consists of a 4D cinema, a play hall area, restaurants, coffee shops, and outdoor gardens with tea houses. The highest and longest open-air staircase in the world, the Skywalk, starts at the height of 170 meters 558 feet and spirals almost 170 meters 558 feet higher, all the way through the waist. Parts of the Skywalk's floors are laid with transparent glass. The top zone of the tower begins above the stairway, housing various technical functions as well as a two-story rotating restaurant, a tuned mass damper and the upper observation levels. From the upper observation levels it is possible to ascend even higher, via a further set of the stairs, to a terraced observation square rising above the tower's top ring. The twist. The form, volume, and structure of the towers is generated by two ellipses, one at foundation level and the other at a horizontal plane at 450 meters 1,480 feet. These two ellipses are rotated relative to another. The tightening caused by the rotation between the two ellipses forms a waist and a densification of material halfway up the tower. This means that the lattice structure, which at the bottom of the tower is porous and spacious, becomes denser at waist level. The waist itself becomes tight, like a twisted rope, transparency is reduced and views to the outside are limited. Further up the tower the lattice opens again, accentuated here by the tapering of the structural column tubes. Rooftop Observatory. The indoor public observatory is 449 m above the ground, which takes the form of a terraced elliptical space, roughly half the size of a standard football field. Opened in December 2011, the rooftop at 488 m was the highest and largest outdoor observation deck in the world, taking over the title from the observation deck of Burj Khalifa at 452 m. This remained the case until October 14, 2014, when the record of highest outdoor observatory was retaken by Burj Khalifa when it opened its new observatory called At the Top, Sky, at a height of 555 m. 16 transparent crystal passenger cars, each with a diameter of 3.2 meters 10 feet and able to carry 4 to 6 people, travel on a track round the edge of the tower's roof, taking between 20 and 40 minutes to circumnavigate the rooftop. The installation is described by the media as a Ferris wheel, however, its passenger cars are not suspended from the rim of a wheel and remain horizontal without being fully rotated, and the track, which follows the incline of the roof, is closer to the horizontal than the vertical. Architectural lighting design. At night, the tower glows and emits light, rather than being uplit. Lighting designer Rogier van der Heide is known for this concept, which he also applied at the Marunouchi building in Tokyo. Each node in the lighting design is individually controllable to allow for animations and color changes across the entire height of the tower. As all lighting is based on LED technology, and all fixtures are located on the structure itself, the lighting scheme consumes only 15% of the allowed maximum for facade lighting. At the time of the design of Canton Tower, lighting designer Rogier van der Heide was global leader of Arup lighting. Measurements. The Canton Tower's main body stands at 450 meters 1,476 feet. Combined with the tower's 150-meter long, 492 feet, antenna, the Canton Tower has a total height of 604 meters 1,982 feet, making it the second tallest tower in the world, second tallest in Asia, and the tallest in the People's Republic of China. The tower has a total of 112 floors. The Canton Tower weighs a total of 100,000 t, 100 million kilograms, including the tower's antenna which weighs 1,550 t, 1,550,000 kilograms, and the main body, which includes all the features of the tower, which weighs a total of 98,450 t, 98,450,000 kilograms. The Canton Tower occupies a total floor area of 175,458 square meters 1,888,610 square feet. In addition, the tower's net usable area measures 114,054 square meters 1,227,670 square feet. Events. In lieu of a traditional stadium setting, the opening ceremonies of the 2010 Asian Games in Guangzhou were held on Xiaomanyao Island. The Canton Tower and Pearl River were used as a focal point of the event. The Canton Tower hosted an annual Christmas concert on Christmas Eve inside the tower's ground floor, making it the first concert to be held in the Canton Tower. Celebrated on Christmas Eve, the concert was held on December 24, 2012. Geography. The Canton Tower is situated alongside the Yaiwan Road, Yuejiang Road West, in the Haizhu district of Guangzhou, and is situated south of the Zhejiang New Town. Additionally, several famous landmarks surround the tower, including pagodas, a park towards the south, and several high-rise apartments, buildings, and skyscrapers, both commercial and residential. Canton Tower is a 1,982-foot tall symbol of Guangzhou's progress and economic achievement. Its unique hyperboloid shape evokes thoughts of futurism and technical achievements. It stands directly across from the new central business district of Guangzhou, across the banks of the Pearl River. It was built between 2005 and 2010 at a cost of $450 million. Once it was completed, it became the tallest tower in the world for 1 year and remained the tallest structure in China for 5 years. Its cultural prominence peaked right after it opened when it served as the focal point for the Asian Games opening ceremony in 2010. It continues to be the focal point of the burgeoning Guangzhou skyline. The engineering feat. Arup, the engineers behind the Canton Tower, is a London-based firm responsible for some of the world's most impressive modern buildings. Their portfolio includes the CCTV headquarters and the Bird's Nest Stadium, both in Beijing, in addition to the Marina Bay Sands in Singapore, the Azadai Tower in Tehran, the Sydney Opera House, the London Gherkin, and the Shard. The tip of the tower's spire reaches 1,982 feet high. The roof height is a bit lower at 1,472 feet tall. That said, there is also an observatory within the spire above the roof, 1,601 feet above the ground. The structure has 6 separate elevators traveling as fast as 10 meters per second, and only 37 physical floors, with significant gaps between many levels. The clear engineering feat of the tower is its hyperboloid shape, an unmissable feat of engineering, accomplished by Arup. The tower can be thought of as 2 interdependent structural entities. The first is the interior reinforced concrete core which holds the elevators and some mechanical operations, and then the twisted steel lattice on the exterior. It is in part thanks to the combination of 2 structural features that the tower can be so narrow and tall. This makes it remarkable in the 21st century as one of the few buildings whose exterior demonstrates its function as structural support. Held within the two structural components are the 5 clusters of floors that make up the observation deck and entertainment facilities. To keep the tower from swaying, it contains a hybrid mass damper. This is made of two 650-ton water tanks in corroboration with motorized active mass dampers. The excessively cautious hybrid option is to counterbalance the risks of the uniquely slim tower. Also, the weight of mass damp never fails to be mind-boggling. If both tanks are filled, it would be the equivalent of 4¼ double-decker Airbus planes resting on top of the Canton Tower. That's also nearly a fifth the weight of all the wrought iron in the Eiffel Tower, all to keep the tower from shaking and causing nausea. The hyperboloid. A hyperboloid is an architectural form first developed in the late 19th century by the Russian engineer Vladimir Zhukov. While the form has been used most often for nuclear reactor cooling towers, it could very well have defined the New York City skyline. In the early 1950s, when bourgeois train stations were in disuse and near demolition, the Guangzhou-born architect, I.M. Pei had proposed an 80-story hourglass-shaped tower replace it. One can wonder if the design by Iba and Arup was a way of honoring Guangzhou's most significant architect. Economics of the Pearl River Delta. The tower symbolizes the aesthetic beauty, technical brilliance, and the economic ability of the rising city in China's south. As mentioned before, it was completed in unison with the 2010 Asian Games. Ahead of the Games, the city and nation helped fund improvements to the subway system, roads, and the downtown district. The tower serves as a reminder of the enormous financial power held by Guangzhou and its surrounding neighbors. The 9 major cities within the delta produce the GDP equivalent of South Korea, at roughly $1.8 trillion each, visual capitalist. It also holds a similar GDP to its neighbor, Hong Kong, each over $300 billion annually. The tower represents something incredibly powerful and underappreciated about the rise of China. It also demonstrates the function of impractical architecture in the 21st century. It projects social significance, ability, and control of identity. The Canton Tower was designed to define Guangzhou. Its name, a reference to the westernized name of the province, further underscores who the audience is expected to be. Canton Tower, located at the intersection of Guangzhou New City Central Axis and the southern bank of the Pearl River, faces Xiaomanyao Island, the venue for the opening and closing ceremonies of the 16th Asian Games. The tower boasts a total height of 600 meters, with the body of the tower reaching 450 meters and a 150-meter-long antenna. The tower boasts a total construction area of 120,000 square meters, and is currently the highest tower in China and the 3rd highest in the world. Canton Tower uses a core concrete tube at its axis. The outer steel structure consists of 24 steel pillars, 46 steel rings and a diagonal cross, which creates a hollowed-out effect and a unique open structure. The tower shows a spirit of dynamic Guangzhou welcoming challenges and embracing the world. Canton Tower is made up of 2 oval-shaped sections, the top one is smaller and the bottom one bigger. Both have been arranged upside down, being rotated 135 degrees counterclockwise and put together. The twist has caused the effect of a tiny waist in the middle of the tower body. Thus, the tower is also nicknamed the Tiny Waist by locals. Thanks to the rotation, the tower body has seen an ever-changing curve, so viewers can see different shapes of the tower from different angles. With its unique shape and design, the tower has become a magnificent scene in the new city central axis, adding beauty and charm to the Pearl River. Canton Tower, the new landmark building of Guangzhou, is more than a tourism and sightseeing tower combining the functions of urban sightseeing, tower climbing and recreation, fashionable food and beverage, wedding and exhibition, movies and TV entertainment, environmental protection and science promotion, culture and education, shopping and leisure. The tower is also named one of the top 8 new sceneries of Guangzhou and one of the privileged members of the World Federation of Great Towers, WFGT. At Canton Tower, you will enjoy a unique and magnificent experience. Thank you for watching this video.